Okay, my name's Lucy Fergus and I make interior products and accessories from waste rubber silicone and natural rubber offcuts. I did a lot of work with medical grade silicone tubing on my undergrad course. I studied woven textiles, so I was doing a lot of weaving with metal and silicone. And when I went on to study my postgraduate degree, it was very materials led and there was a big push for sustainability within the course. And I went to work at the factory just to gain a bit more knowledge. Then I came across the waste in the skip and thought it was so exciting. Took it back to college, started experimenting and started making the lighting at first, and it just all spiralled from there. I think I wanted to be an interior designer when I was a lot younger. I've always been very interested in making, and I think it was a kind of a fashion to say, oh, I want to do interior design or fashion or something. But as I grew up, I think I had a passion for music as well. I played the flute and the piano, and also very interested in art and making. And when I had to make a decision between those to study my hires in Scotland, I chose the art route, and it went from there. We had a great portfolio course for our final year of school, and our art teacher was notorious for getting a lot of people into Glasgow Art School, and it happened that year, and I went straight into textiles to study woven textiles. I left college and I knew that I wanted to develop my products, so I did a small business course, which is very useful for creative businesses, and there was a lot of like-minded people, and it was nice to see that everyone was going through the same thing as me, having hard days when they didn't have any money or something was going wrong with a commission. You have to be really hard-working and committed and be prepared to be skint, because not everybody's wants to buy your designs, or it takes a long time to get people to recognise you and to get stockists and to work out really how you want to work. Well, for example, now I know that it's difficult to make a living from doing one-off commission pieces and installations, and you have to think about the practical things and the smaller things that will sell. So that's why I recently started to develop a jewellery range, because people showed interest, and I know that that's the kind of thing that's accessible to people. My grandmother was from Holland, and she was a knitwear designer, and she always had a sewing room in her house. So I suppose that's where the textile background did come from, although I didn't realise it at the time, because I remember I'm left-handed and my grandma would try and teach me to knit, but she was right-handed, so I would never be able to pick it up. So I would always make a bit of a mess of it and find my own way of doing it. But I suppose she'd be so proud if she knew that actually in my final year I was initially knitting and weaving with the silicone. I'm sure she would be really proud of me. I can see myself making forever. I don't think I'll ever get bored of it. My fingers might do though, because my hands are already starting to look a lot older than me. So no, I definitely think I'll always be involved with something creative for the rest of my life, whether it's inspiring other people and advising other people, or making my own work. If I could do anything in the world, it would probably be something to do with covering a huge building in silicone. I've always wanted to cover the facade of a building. Maybe it would be somewhere like the Eiffel Tower. I would cover the whole Eiffel Tower in waste silicone. But I know that that's a lifetime's job anyway. But that would be definitely something I'd like to achieve. I know that I'm lucky because I've found what I love to do, and I know that a lot of people do a job for the sake of it, and I absolutely adore what I do, and I wouldn't change it for the world.